Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and the two young ladies we have are students. Before we begin the meeting, Kinsley Housewright will lead us in a prayer before the pledge. Kinsley is an 8th grade student at Hearst Middle School. For all 3 years at Hearst, Kinsley has been a member of the Beta Club, Hearst cheerleading team, and on the soccer team, and runs track for the Roadrunners. After Kinsley's prayer, Mr. John Smith will lead us in the prayer. Would everyone please stand if you are able?
Please bow your heads with me in prayer. Lord, thank you for who you are and how you work in our lives. Thank you for the men and women that work and serve the St. Charles Public Schools. And God, tonight, I ask that you would help guide and direct through all of the decisions that are about to be made for the students, teachers, and staff members of the schools in our parish. Lord, I pray for this school year and for the safety and well-being of all those that will enter one of the schools here in this great community. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show that all board members are present tonight, as well as Superintendent Dr. Ken Ortling. Item 2.01, board minute approval. We have minutes from July 15th, 2024 committee meetings, July 17th, 2024 interim budget public hearing, July 17th board meeting, and the July 30th risk management and insurance committee meetings.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the meeting minutes as noted.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Suffren, second by Mr. Oquin. Is there any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. All four of those minutes are unanimously approved. Item 2.02, flood insurance renewal. The school board has purchased flood insurance on the district-owned property since 2007. The district has 96 flood insurance policies, with 72 of them renewing in September, and the remaining 24 policies renew at a later date. The district's property insurance policy also provides $10 million in excess flood and storm surge coverage. This agenda item was reviewed at the Risk Management and Insurance Committee meeting on Monday, August 19th, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's strategic action plan. The recommendation from the administration is to approve the renewal of flood insurance underwritten by Wright National Flood Insurance Company through Riverlands Insurance Services at an approximate cost of between $447,000 and $460,000, depending on the rates that we get from FEMA.
Mr. President, I move to approve the renewal of the flood insurance underwritten by Wright National Flood Insurance Company through Riverlands Insurance Services.
I second.
Have a motion by Mr. Cody, a second by Mrs. Weber. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President, it should be noted that the increase in flood insurance premiums are due in large part to increases beyond the district's control, with regards to properties on the West Bank where the federal government continues to disregard existing levee structures. The existing properties on the West Bank had an average increase of 17.3% compared to just 3.6% on the East Bank structures. And we encourage our local government to continue to fight to get this discrepancy taken care of.
Thank you, Mr. Cody. Any other board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. The flood insurance renewal is unanimously approved. The next item, 2.03, is electronic inventory provider. The school board, sorry, I got the wrong page. Requests for qualifications were sought from several professional service through advertisements for electronic inventory services. The district received one response to the request for qualifications. The Risk Management and Insurance Committee reviewed and evaluated the statement of qualifications based on the criteria set forth in the request. The selection of Salas will provide the district with high-quality service. This agenda item was reviewed at the Risk Management and Insurance Committee meeting on Monday, August 19th, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move that we remand this proposal back to administration and pursue further information on the benefits this technology can provide the district. While it is our responsibility to look at all avenues to mitigate increased property insurance expenses, I do believe some more discussion on additional benefits outside of those cost savings could help make this board inform a better decision.
I second.
Mr. O'Quinn, second? I'm sorry. Motion by Mr. Cody and a second by Mr. O'Quinn. Is there any discussion?
I have a question. We'd like to get more information with respect to this particular item, but it is noted that this was a sole provider, sole bidder on this project. If we return this to the market for another bid, the amount of time that it would take to rebid this particular project, and would it be outside of the scope of our renewal? And secondly, could we extend the present insurance that we have to allow us enough time to do that?
Mr. Smith, I just want to note, I'm not asking to get this rebid. I'm just asking for further discussion on that.
I am trying to get clarification. I understand what you're doing, but I am asking that, given what the renewal date would be on our present insurance.
I'm going to ask Ms. Gales to step up to the mic. Ms. Smith, based on the discussion from Monday, it was my understanding that this would not hamper any additional current renewals of coverage on our properties, but that by bringing this back to the board in September, which is 3 weeks from now, we'd be able to have a more lengthy discussion. We'd be able to provide additional information to the board relative to this particular bid. Is that correct, Ms. Gales?
Right, but this bid would take, we'd have to advertise it for 45 days. So, and I guess I'm wondering whether or not we could complete the process in time to renew our insurance.
Ms. Gales and Mr. Rome as well, can you step to the mic? Should there be any other discussion, Ms. Gales?
Mr. Smith, in regards to your question about insurance, we do not begin to participate in the market for property insurance until January. So we do have time for the board to have discussions about the project. As regards to your question about the request for qualifications, RFQs do not follow the same requirements as an RFP, so we're not bound by specific timelines. The RFQ is specifically written to state that it is subject to terms and conditions set by St. Charles Parish School Board, so we do have the right to delay in providing an answer because it's a RFQ.
Right. So then, since we only got one response to our RFQ, then would it be in our best interest to go back out and ask for additional bids on this? Not bids, but requests for proposals.
I mean, that, good evening, that's at the board's discretion. I mean, we put it out on Central Auction House and through our means, our official journal, St. Charles Herald Guide. We received 300 and something hits on the listing. You know, we can do it at the board's pleasure, but I'm not sure if we'll get additional firms or not. I'm not sure if the item is just going to be remanded back to administration and we'd come back with a recommendation, but we certainly can do that. Whether we get any additional interest, I can't quite guarantee that.
I would like Mr. Cody to repeat his motion to remand with the reasons why.
Okay. Mr. President, I move to remand this proposal back to the administration to promote further discussion so that members of this board can fully understand the scope of what this proposal encompasses, not just in regards to insurance cost savings, but also security features as well. I think a more robust conversation, because of the fact that we just had one proposal on this, I think we just need to have a further discussion on it. I'm not asking that it goes back out to bid.
Okay. Just wanted to be clear. Make sure everybody was clear with your reason why you would like it remanded back to the administration. Is there any more discussion?
Well, I'd like to make a substitute motion. The substitute motion would be that we re-advertise this for qualifications.
Okay, as a motion by Mr. Smith to, substitute motion by Mr. Smith to remand back let me finish, to be request for qualifications. Is there a second? Is there a second to Mr. Smith's motion? If not, that motion fails. And we go back to Mr. Cody's motion to remain for further discussion, further board discussion and discovery about this company and their proposal.
I have a question regarding the motion. According to Mr. Cody, he wants further clarifications with respect to the proposal that we have. We did review this proposal at our last meeting on Monday. I would like to be more specific in terms of knowing what it is we want administration to come back and address. Because I don't think we just want to rehash the same thing. So specifically, what is it that we're asking administration to come back with the answers to what specific questions? And it doesn't matter to me whether or not we do that tonight. I'm not asking that we take this time for during a board meeting, but I do think that the committee could develop those questions in conjunction with administration and be prepared to discuss them at the September meeting that you're asking about.
Yep, I think that's fair. No need to discuss it here, and we'll make sure that the committee gets together, comes up with some questions that make sure that the entire board is represented and their Any fears or any questions they may have are also put forward to the administration as well.
Any other board discussion? If not, please cast your vote.
We're voting on the motion, correct? Not,
The motion to remand,
if we vote yes, we're voting yes to remand.
remand it.
I just want to clarify, thank you.
Yes, the motion is to remand. Mr. Scott's motion to remand back to the administration is unanimously approved. Next item on our agenda, 2.04, trademark and trade name application. The school board is seeking to transfer the trade name of, quote, "you and I, we are," unquote, phrase and logo from the St. Charles Parish Public Schools to St. Charles Parish School Board. Additionally, it is necessary to apply for state and federal trade name / work mark of St. Charles Parish Public Schools. "You and I, we are" the phrase and St. Charles Parish Public Schools logo. This agenda item was reviewed at the Risk Management and Insurance Committee meeting of the board on Monday, August 19th, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move to approve the trademark and trade name application at an investment of $1,655.
A second.
Motion by Mr. Cody, second by Mrs. Weber. Is there any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Item 2.04, trademark and trade name application is unanimously approved. Next item on the agenda is 2.05, change order number 2, Hornville High School Building A Digital Media Center and Commons renovation project. There are several items included on this change order, and the total increase for all changes is $24,786.97. Approval of this change order will allow the district to make the necessary modifications to the existing contract, and this agenda item was reviewed at the Capital Improvements Committee meeting on Monday, August 19th, and is aligned with Goal E of the board's strategic action plan. Just one note that the original budget for this digital media center and commons area project was $1,457,000, and the total change orders for this project would amount to $60,358, which is a minus 4% reduction in the budget.
Mr. President, I move we accept the change order number 2 for Hornville High School Digital Media Center and Commons renovation project.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Gregson, second by Mr. Smith. Is there any discussion? There's no discussion. Please cast your vote. Item 2.05, change order number 2 for Hornville High School Building A Digital Media Center and Commons renovation project is unanimously approved. And you might note that the Digital Media Center is what was formerly known as the library. Next item, 2.06, ratification of substantial completion for the Hornville High School Building A Digital Media Center and Commons renovation project. The Hornville High School Building A Digital Media Center and Commons renovation project is ready for ratification of acceptance as substantial complete. The final inspection was held on Wednesday, July 31st, with some punch list items remaining. However, the architect recommends acceptance of ratification of substantial completion of the project will allow the contractor to process all closeout documents. The recommendation was discussed with the board president, vice president, and the capital improvements chairperson, and also at the capital improvements meeting on Monday, August 19th.
Move approval of the ratification of substantial completion of the Hornville High School Building A Digital Media Center.
Motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Gregson. Any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Item 2.06 is unanimously approved. Next item is change order number 1, J.B. Martin Middle School Elevator Addition Project. The contract modifications of change order number 1 has 6 items with a net figure of a credit of $6,660.15 and an addition of 12 contract days that was necessary for the construction. Approval of this change order will allow the district to make necessary modifications to the contract. This agenda item was reviewed Monday at Capital Improvements Committee meeting on August 19th.
Move approval of change order number 1 for J.B. Martin Middle School Elevator Addition Project.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Gregson. Any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Item 2.07 is unanimously approved. Next item, substantial completion of Harry Hurst Middle School HVAC replacement project.
Mr. President, I move that we combine item 2.8 through 2.11, that we consent those.
A motion to consent items 2.8, the substantial completion of Harry Hurst Middle School HVAC replacement project. Change order number 1 for Hornville High School Career and Technical Education Facility Improvement. 2.10, change order number 1 for Destrehan High School Career and Technical Education Facility Improvements Project, and the ratification of partial substantial completion of Destrehan High School Career and Technical Education Facilities Improvement Project Phase 1. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion, second by Mrs. Boudreau. A motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mrs. Boudreau. Any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote on consent item, agenda those items, 2.08 to 2.11. Okay, that motion is unanimously approved. So I just want to be clear, that consent agenda item, we voted to combine them and approve them at the same time, or do we have to separately?
No, they are
All
all
approved.
approved as a bundle.
Everybody's in agreement with that? Okay. That brings us to item 2.12, 2.12, bid authorization request for the Destrehan High School AAA Alumni Center project. And let me pull this up.
Mr. President, I move to consent 2.12 and 2.13.
Okay, let me get, is there a second to consent
Second.
items 2.12 and 2.13? They're both bid authorization requests for the AAA alumni centers at each high school. So I have a motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Gregson. Is there any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Those two items are unanimously approved by consent agenda. Next item, 2.14, change order number 1 for Destrehan High School and Hornville High School baseball and softball turf projects. The total cost for this change order, which is one item, the additional catch basin at Hornville High softball field, is a total cost of $4,810 and one additional contract day. This agenda item was reviewed at the Capital Improvements Committee of the board on Monday, August 19, and is aligned with Goal E of the board's strategic action plan.
Move approval of the change order number 1 for Destrehan High School and Hornville High School baseball and softball turf project.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Gregson. Any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Change order number 1 for Destrehan High School and Hornville High School baseball and surf project is unanimously approved. Next item, 2.15, partial substantial completion of Destrehan High School and Hornville High School baseball and softball turf projects.
Mr. President, move approval of partial substantial completion of Destrehan High School and Hornville High School baseball and softball turf project.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Gregson. Any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Mine didn't pop up.
Mine didn't pop up either.
Item 2.15, partial substantial completion of those field turf projects is unanimously approved. Next item, 2.16, contract custodial service agreement. Proposals were received from 6 vendors for contracted custodial services on Tuesday, July 16, 2024, and were evaluated by the administration. And the administration recommends acceptance of the assigned contractor custodial services for, it's for 2 schools. Let me see if I think it's New Sarpy Elementary and East Ethel Scheffner and New Sarpy Elementary Schools.
Mr. President, I move approval of the contracts custodial services agreement as recommended by the superintendent.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Gregson. Any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Those 2 contracts are unanimously approved. Next item is 2.17, a job description revision for speech language pathologists. The superintendent is recommending a job description revision to the board for the speech language pathologist positions. Revisions were needed to support school system operations. This agenda item was reviewed at the Personnel and Policy Committee of the board on Monday, August 19th, and is aligned with Goal C of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the job description revisions for the speech language pathologists.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Suffer and second by Mr. Cody. Any board discussion?
Mr. President, just very quickly, I know we didn't have recognition tonight, but I see Miss Minnie Van Hoven, who was part of this job description revision in the audience. She was recognized this morning by our Bessie Board for participating in the year-long Fellows Program for our special education learning to advance her knowledge and services to our students. I just wanted to give a special recognition and shout out to Ms. Minnie.
Any other discussion? If not, please cast your vote. The job description revision for speech language pathologists is unanimously approved. Next item on the agenda is revisions to Board Policy 6.6.1, immunizations / communicable diseases, second reading and adoption. Upon review of Board Policy 6.6.1, revisions are required as mandated by the law. The revisions also include a title change. This agenda item was reviewed and accepted for first reading at a meeting of the board on Wednesday, July 17th, and is aligned with Goal B of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the recommended revisions to Board Policy 6.6.1 for a second reading and adoption.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Suffer and second by Mr. Cody. Any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Revisions to Board Policy 6.6.1 is unanimously approved. Next item on the agenda is revisions to Board Policy 6.6.2, Administration of Medications, for our second reading and adoption. Upon review of Board Policy 6.6.2, administration of medications revisions are required as mandated by the law. This agenda item was reviewed and accepted for first reading at the meeting of the board on Wednesday, July 17th, 2024, and is aligned with Goal B of the Board Strategic Action Plan. The recommendations from the administration is approval.
Mr. President, I'll move that we approve the recommended revisions to Board Policy 6.6.2 for a second reading and adoption.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Suffering, second by Mr. Cody. Any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Revisions to Board Policy 6.6.2 is unanimously approved. Next item on the agenda is revisions to Board Policy 6.6.3, Behavioral Health Services for Students, second reading and adoption. Upon the review of this policy, 6.6.3, revisions are required as mandated by the law. This agenda item was reviewed and approved for first reading at the meeting of the board on Wednesday, July 17th, and is aligned with Goal B of the Board Strategic Action Plan, and approval is recommended by the administration.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the recommended revisions to Board Policy 6.6.3 for a second reading and adoption.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Suffering, second by Mr. Cody. Any board discussion? Not, please cast your vote. Revisions to Board Policy 6.6.3 is unanimously approved. Next item is request for a part-time position for the distribution center. The district has identified a need to add a part-time position at the distribution center to support federal programs, curriculum and instruction, and special education departments, as well as provide additional support during the construction of central office. This agenda item was reviewed on Monday, August 19th, and is aligned with Goal C of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Mr. President, I'll move that we approve a part-time position for the distribution center at an investment of $18,000.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Motion by Mr. Suffering, second by Mr. Cody. Any further discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Request for a part-time position for the distribution center is unanimously approved. Next item on the agenda is recommended revisions to the job descriptions for the Dr. Rodney R. LaFawn Performing Arts Center staff. The superintendent is recommending job descriptions for the revisions to the board. There are several job description revisions recommended for the positions at the Dr. Rodney LaFawn Performing Arts Center. Those positions include the director of the center, the production manager, the front of house manager, center attendant, marketing and box office manager, and technical director. These proposed revisions ensure the roles align with the current needs of the Performing Arts Center and the district. This item was reviewed at the Personnel and Policy Committee meeting of the board on Monday, August 19th, and is aligned with goals A and C of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the recommended revisions to job descriptions at the LaFawn Performing Arts Center.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Suffering, second by Mr. Cody. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, please cast your vote. Item 2.22 is unanimously approved. Next item, 2.23, personnel items. Staffing management is necessary to maintain effective functioning of the schools. The Human Resource Department provides staffing updates monthly to the board, and this agenda items was reviewed at the Personnel and Policy Committee meeting of the board on Monday, August 19th, and is aligned with Goal C of the board strategic action plan. The recommendation from the administration is for the board to receive the personnel items as presented to the board.
Mr. President, I move to receive the personnel items as presented to the board.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Suffering, second by Mr. Cody to receive the personnel items as presented. Any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Item 2.23 is also unanimously approved. Next item, 2.24, the 2024-2025 school year pupil progression plan. The school board is required to, the administration is required to prepare and submit annual revisions to its pupil progression plan, incorporating any changes required by the state and local requirements. Board approval is required before submitting the document to Bessie.
Mr. President, I move approval of the 2024-2025 pupil progression plan with appropriate revisions as recommended by the superintendent.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Oquan to approve the 2024-2025 pupil progression plan. Is there any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. The pupil progression plan for this school year is unanimously approved. Our next item is Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire for fiscal year 2024. We are required to prepare, a statement of total disclosure must be provided to the auditors each time the St. Charles Parish School Board's financial reports are audited. The statement is provided by completion of the Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire. The completed questionnaire is presented to the board for approval, and the board recommends that we authorize the superintendent, board president, and chief financial officer to sign the questionnaire on behalf of the board.
Mr. President, I move that we authorize the superintendent, board president, and chief financial officer to sign the questionnaire on behalf of the board.
I second.
Motion by Mr. Gregson, second by Mrs. Boudreau. Any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Item 2.25 is unanimously approved. Next item on the agenda is the salary book for the 2024-25 school year. Each year, the district prepares a salary book containing the district's salary schedules, supplementary salary stipends, and other compensations provisions. The salary book for the 2024-2025 year is being presented to the board for approval. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting on Monday, August 19th, and is aligned with goals C and D of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the salary book for the 2024-25 school year.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gregson, second by Mrs. Boudreau to approve the salary book for the current school year. Is there any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. The salary book for the 2024-2025 school year is unanimously approved. That brings us to item 2.27, accounts payable for the month of July 2024, and our bills for July 2024 amounts to $11,454,697. Is there a motion to approve?
Mr. President, I move that we approve the accounts payable for the month of July 2024.
I second.
Motion by Mr. Gregson, second by Mrs. Boudreau to pay the bills for the month of July 2024. Any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Accounts payable for July 2024 is unanimously approved. That brings us to our closing items. First item is standing committee reports. If there's a chairman of any standing committee that wish to give a report to the board, you can do so at this time.
Mr. President, the Finance and Audit Committee, consisting of me, Ms. Karen Boudreau, and Mr. Al Suffren, met on Monday. We discussed three items: the 2024-25 salary book, the accounts payable for the month of July 2024, and the Louisiana compliance questionnaire, all of which were just approved a few moments ago, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Gregson. Anyone else?
Mr. President, the Curriculum and Instruction Committee met last Monday night and reviewed the two items. One was the pupil progression plan that was approved tonight. The other related to student achievement. I'm not going to say anything about that because I'm sure the superintendent will probably want to say something about that in his remarks later, but I do want to commend our teachers, our staff, our administrators in the district for a wonderful job of working with our students and for restoring our students' achievement to the level that it was prior to the pandemic. I want to commend you on behalf of the board. Thank you very much for the work that you do to advance the cause of education in St. Charles Parish.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
I would like to add real quick, I would like to recognize Ms. Grenier as well and her team, because without their efforts of going into the trenches and making sure that these things are in place, we would not be getting the results that we have today. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Weber.
Mr. President, the Personnel and Policy Committee met on Monday, August 19th, and we covered 4 items. All 4 of those items came to the full board this evening, and they were approved. Those items were the job description revisions for the speech-language pathologist, request for a part-time position for the distribution center, recommended revisions to job descriptions for the LaFond Performing Arts Center, and personnel items were received by the board. I'd also like to give thanks to Ms. Teresa Brown and Ms. Erin Grenier for the supporting materials to our committee, for helping the discussion flow smoothly. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Suffering. Members of the board, the Capital Committee met on Monday, August 19th, and there were 14 items on the agenda. 12 of those items were approved tonight, and the other 2 items were for informational purposes only, and that concludes my report. Next item on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Dr. Orland.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I'd like to just echo some of the same sentiments Mr. Smith and Ms. Weber also echoed relative to our team, the entire St. Charles Parish Public Schools team. We have received significant recognition based on our growth in academic achievement, including #1 in the state in kindergarten through 3rd grade literacy, with close to 71% of our students at or above grade level relative to reading. And as we all know, if students are able to be literate and read, then they can begin to read, to learn. So certainly that is our goal. Very proud of that achievement, as well as #6 overall in the state in LEAP 2025, 3rd through 12th grade LEAP assessments. When you consider some of those ahead of us, we are not as selective as they are. I'll leave it at that, which is significant considering where we were just 4 short years ago before COVID and Hurricane Ida. Additionally, we were one of only 20 school systems out of 64 that showed significant growth in LEAP 2025 assessments, being #3 overall in the state. So while those benchmarks are certainly something to be very proud of, we also know we have room for improvement as well, and we'll continue to focus on continuous improvement and ensuring that our students are provided those high-quality educational opportunities that each and every one of them deserve. And I also want to personally thank each and every one of you as board members on this team for supporting our efforts and providing the supports necessary to see the sustained growth that this system is seeing in our students and our community will also see in return. So thank you for that. On another note, Act 422 passed during the 2023 legislative session. It requires, starting this year, the 2024-25 school year, that 3rd grade students in traditional public schools who score at the lowest levels on DIBEL's 8th edition literacy screener may be required to repeat 3rd grade. This law, which does not apply to public charter schools, aims to ensure students have foundational reading skills before moving on to 4th grade. All 3rd grade students are assessed 3 times a year, at the beginning, middle, and end of the school year. Students scoring in the lowest range may be retained unless they qualify for a good cause exemption, allowing them to be promoted despite low scores. For more information about exemptions and how this law may affect your child, please contact your child's teacher or school administrator or visit the State Department, district, or school websites. More information to follow directly to parents that this may impact. And after many months of preparation and anticipation, we successfully reopened schools and welcomed our students and families to what will be an amazing school year. We're all in with expecting excellence again this year. We'll continue to embrace continuous improvement and find opportunities for improvement in our work each day throughout the school year to help us accomplish our mission of providing a high-quality educational opportunity for our students, to empower them to become enthusiastic lifelong learners. I'd like to personally thank all of our amazing teammates who worked diligently this summer preparing for our opening. Please stay aware of any updates through your school's communication channels, including their websites, social media outlets, newsletters, and Blackboard Connect messages. Public Information Department was able to capture some special moments from the first days of school. Let's take a look at this year's video.
I want to welcome back everyone, not just the kids, but each and every person in this district. Everybody's excited. I'm excited, and we made a lot of improvements, and the kids, come back and they're excited to see each other, and as well as the new improvements that we've made. I would like for everyone, the students, the faculty, the support staff, to find happiness in what they're doing, and everything will be all right.
Welcome back to the 2024-25 school year. What a great year we expect. I'm here at Mimosa Park Elementary, and the campus is fantastic. Our maintenance department did a great job getting these schools ready for the upcoming school year. We're going to celebrate a great milestone this year, where both Hornville and Destran are both 100 years old. Again, it proves to our community that this generation after generation attend our schools. The schools are ready to go, and we're ready to get started. Welcome back.
It's so great seeing all the teachers and the staff out there waiting for the kids to come off the bus to let them know they're loved, that they're safe, that they're at home here on campus. It is absolutely refreshing to just see a fun, clean environment that's just filled with pride. As a parent, I love sending my kids into this district. These teachers know these kids, their children, the lives, their background, and they care about them and they want them to learn.
We do whatever it takes to make sure that our staff here in St. Charles Parish Public Schools gets the best in the state of Louisiana and across the United States. The first day is fun because it's energy. It's nothing but energy. Throughout the school, even watching them come off the bus, the kids that were smiling and happy and high-fiving and running down the sidewalk. If I had anything to tell students, I would say to you, be yourself, because everyone else is taken. Get the best out of yourself. Take it day by day and deliver your best that you can be.
I am most excited about the facilities, the condition of our facilities, and the amount of work that the superintendent staff, all of the faculty members and principals have put into the preparations for this year. Walking through this facility, you can feel the excitement, you can feel the charge. Students are ready to get back to work, it seems. They're very interested in participating and finding out and exploring.
There's nothing like the feel and the joy of the first day of school. I saw many children today, and the excitement with their uniforms, their school bags, the bus driver welcoming and set the tone for the day. Everything is presented so that it says, we're glad to have you here. I know this has been many days of hard work, long hours, and making sure everything goes as smooth as possible. So we want to make sure that you know that everyone is all in, and we need you to be as well.
Take advantage of what we are helping you achieve, and that's becoming the best person that you can be. Enjoy this time that you have. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your teachers, enjoy everyone that's associated here, because we're all coming from a place where we want you to be the best person that you can be. Believe in yourself, be all in this year. Be all in believing that you can become whoever you want to become.
Thank you to everyone involved in helping the district get ready for the start of school. Our AAA district, focusing on academics, the arts, and athletics, offers opportunities for every student. Students, I encourage you to embrace each day with enthusiasm and take advantage of these opportunities to grow. Welcome back for an exciting school year filled with learning, growth, and new adventures. Let's make this year a great one.
Welcome back to what I know is going to be a phenomenal school year committed to developing empathetic, involved, productive, and responsible citizens. Our summer was a busy one with staff participating in professional development, readying and improving facilities, and fine-tuning support services. Expect excellence in all in. You've heard us say it 1,000 times, and you'll probably hear it 1,000 times more. That's because they aren't just mottos. They're our steadfast pledge, because we know what a difference we can make to the community and to our families. We commit to being all in every day for our students, our employees, and our community. We're dedicating to expecting excellence and providing a nurturing environment where every student can thrive and become the best version of themselves. thank you for entrusting in us the education and care of St. Charles Parish students. Here's to a fantastic first day and a productive year ahead. Welcome back! So once again, I want to thank the Public Information Department, and of course, specifically Mr. Mason Dalton for, again, producing such a wonderful video that highlights our entire school system. Thank you, Mason, and Public Information Department. And Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Ortland.
I move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Motion and second. Any discussion? If not, meeting adjourned.